our study for the next couple weeks will be the book Woman, You Are Qualified. 6 reasons why you should live a passionate life as a woman. In a world where women are often disqualified just because of their gender, it's important for us to realize that we are qualified, and we also do have several scriptural backing to do what? For us to understand that we are indeed qualified to live the life that God have ordained us and called us and created us to live. Woman, You Are Qualified, the book has 6 chapters. It begins with the author's note, and then the introduction, and then chapter 1 to chapter 6. Essentially, we'll be looking at 6 reasons why every woman is qualified to live that passionate life that they ought to live. One of them is that creation qualifies you as a woman. Another one is that new birth, that is your salvation, qualifies you as a woman to live a passionate, purposeful life. Another one is that Pentecost qualifies you, and then knowledge qualifies you. Also, submission is what I call the ultimate qualifier, qualifies you too as a woman to live a passionate life. And then lastly, we'll also be seeing that faith, your faith is also a qualifier. If a woman has faith, just like Jesus said, if you have faith as little as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, be removed from here to yonder, and it shall be done. So these are the 6 qualifiers that we'll be looking at in this book for the next couple weeks. Now let's dive right into it, beginning with the author's note, because the author's note actually tells something very personal about how this book came about. Author's note: once upon a time, I was a young woman, a young wife, a young mother, a young minister of the gospel, and I was also struggling to express my writing gift. I remember one morning as I was struggling to pen some inspiration down, I heard God say to me, Bridget, the gospel is very simple message. It's a very simple message. Don't complicate it by trying to use ambiguous expressions. Just express yourself in clear, simple words and sentences that I place in your heart. Thus, I began to realize that God was interested in helping me express His grace upon my life. Sincerely, I can't forget that day. I think it was either year 2000 or year 1999 that this particular encounter happened. Yes, I remember I was trying to write a track. That was when my writing ministry was just beginning to form. Actually, I was not married then, 1999 or year 2000. I was not married then, and I was trying to write some things. And one morning, trying to write some things, I was trying to write materials for a track. When all of a sudden, I found myself struggling with, the right words to use. I wanted to use big grammar to write what I wanted to write, and then God just said to me, say, Bridget, the gospel is very simple. Don't complicate it by trying to write big words and big grammar. Back then, internet is not the way it is now. There's no internet, there's no Google. You understand? So what I had then was dictionary. I had dictionary. I will enter my dictionary, and then I'll be searching for words that I can use to express myself. But God said to me, He said, Bridget, you don't need that. Just go ahead and write what you want to write in simple language that everybody can understand when you communicate, and people will still hear what you are saying, and the gospel can be preached without you using big grammar. And that, for me, was a game changer for me. Let's continue with our reading. Although I was burdened and inexperienced in most areas of my life at the time, I did have something going for me. I had the ever-abiding presence of God, and I was in close communion with Him constantly. He mostly spoke to me uplifting words of encouragement with Bible references such as Hebrews 13 verses 5 and 6, 2 Timothy 1 verses 7, and many other passages. There were times that God used Bible characters to get my attention so that my confidence in Him will be reinforced. I tell you this, I think one of the reasons why I'm engaged in a walk called Secure Woman today is because I battled with a lot of insecurities in my life. I have battled with a lot of insecurity in my life, and I still am a work in progress. I will never tell anybody that I've arrived, I've reached that plateau in my life whereby everything is no. I won't do that. But however, I will say this, that I am a work in progress.